Hello. Thank you again to everyone who is watching us at this time. My guest is Mel Carmine, a tirelessly hard-working man who has several channels and many followers. His strong topics are the QFS, the cryptocurrency XRP, the NESARA GESARA, and the main thing, Donald Trump. Welcome, Mel Carmine. Thank you so much for being on my channel.
Niky Monik, muchas gracias por invitarme. ¿Cómo estás?
And I love his background. Yo le dije que I love his background just a few minutes ago, porque hay algo ahí que me gusta. And the second one, he has el nombre de GESARA, NESARA. So he's the guy that he can answer a lot of questions. Niky Monik channel. Thank you for coming.
Niky Monik, muchas gracias por invitarme. ¿Cómo estás?
Tell us, who is this Mel Carmine?
Yo viví en estado casi en 3/4 del mundo viajando, pero nací en la isla de Sicilia y vino a Estados Unidos cuando tenía como 8 años, casi 9. Llegamos el 18 de agosto y mi cumpleaños es el 9 de septiembre.
Oh, he already told you guys that his birthday coming, 9 de septiembre.
September 9th. Make sure you send me a birthday gift.
Para septiembre 9.
Exacto. Exacto. Voy para 61. Imagina.
Tell us.
Yes, I appreciate it. And thank you to your audience. Niky, you know, when I got involved with this a few years back, I got involved through a scam called OneCoin with Dr. Ruja. I don't know if you know the story of Dr. Ruja and OneCoin. It was nothing. It was just thin air. It was one big story.
Oh, that woman who got into trouble.
Yes, Bulgaria. She's from Bulgaria. They had all these meetings and all the hoopla and all the hype and all the bullshit and whatever. And I went in, my friend Joe said, you got to get in this. This is amazing. You know, I said, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I gave him 1,700 euros. I went in 1,700 euros. That was the number. And it turned out to be a scam. A lot of people would be bitter, but I don't get bitter, I get better. You know what I mean? I don't like to get bitter, I get better. And I said, okay, let me investigate this thing. God is leading me to this digital currency thing. I want to explore, I want to dig, I want to find out more, you know? So I became more of like, you know, I was along with the Bitcoin guys. I want to down with the man, down with the institutions, down with everybody, because they're anti, you know, they basically had this crusade of down with the man, okay? And I like down with the man because I'm tired of being controlled by government and all it, etc. So that resonated with me. It wasn't until my wife, until a while back, you know, where she got back to me, she said, hey, listen, you know, she was really going in a different direction. She liked the digital assets, but she was going into the altcoins. I was in a Bitcoin, right? So when she said to me, hey, you know, it's not the Bitcoin, it's the XRP. And she convinced me that, you know, that's what it was. And I started to look at all the videos, XRP Army 1.0, which they sound like a bunch of mainstream guys. They're still talking central bank digital currency. The sky is going to fall. We're going into communism. They don't understand NESARA and GESARA. We created the XRP Army 2.0, which is much more advanced, and we connected it to Elon Musk. We connected to Donald Trump. We connected to the satellite system. What do you call it? The Starlink. The Starlink is connected to the quantum computers. The quantum computers are connected to the quantum financial system. And we started to put all the dots together, and I started to make these recordings inside of my Telegram group. And then these recordings, because I didn't understand the mechanics of Telegram, these recordings were being shared all over Telegram, and people, and there would be a link at the top of the recording that will link them back to my room. And I'll have like 400 or 500 people sometimes in 1 hour join my room. And I'm like, where are all these people coming from? So then I talked to my friend Sandra, and Sandra said, they're coming from Whiplash. They're coming from Captain Kyle. They're coming from all of these big channels that have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So then we took that Because I said, hey, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. I got the owners of these channels telling their listeners that they should listen to this ex-pizza guy talking about the quantum financial system, GESARA, the debt forgiveness. How many times do we hear Trump say we need a level monetary playing field? We need something that's fair so that it's fair for everybody, right? Many, many times. That's how it all started. But then we got into, I wanted to listen. If I'm going to have to prove a story, I want to be able to prove a story with documentation, not just a conversation, right? So I put the word out there because I got literally tens of thousands of people all over the world following me. I said, hey, if anybody out there has a debt forgiveness, kindly show it to us, bring the documentation so that we could show the world that this is actually already in motion. It's starting to happen. And with that, I've had till today about a dozen people, okay, come to, the channel, come to my channel and go on my television show, so to speak, because we are the new media, okay? The ex-pizza guy, the ex-shoemaker, the ex-baker, the ex-whatever, boxer, we're all becoming newscasters because we are tired of the actual news us for, 100 years, right? So we have to create our own truth, right? And that's what we've done. So the bottom line is we've had a dozen, but we've had so many people that have shown me the documentation, but they're scared to death to come on camera. They want to stay underneath the radar. I understand all of that. You understand? We've been telling people for many, many years that the is organization, for example. So now it's funny because people invite me to their channels, which are more like mainstream. And for example, I was on a friend of mine. His name is David Digital Outlook, right? XRP Army 1.0. Nice guy. He's coming to my Quantum Financial System Summit that we're having in Cape Canaveral. All you guys should come. The tickets are for sale right now. Quantum Summit 1776.com. The tickets are for sale right now. And we might have to expand it and maybe go to a bigger venue because, we're getting a lot of people coming in from all over the world, a lot of them from the United States, obviously. The bottom line is that, we had to prove all of this. We did prove it. We have people underneath the chat, in the comments say, yes, I was also debt forgiven. But I went to David Digital Outlook, like I was saying earlier. And when I went to David Digital Outlook, people saying, what is this guy smoking? In Puerto Rico, they don't understand because they're three-dimensional normies, nice people, but they don't want to come into our movie theater because our movie theater happens to be a little bit complicated and you need to be a little bit more than 120 IQ to be able to understand the movie. Anybody who's like 117 IQ runs out because they don't have the power, the horsepower in their brain to be able to understand and absorb the information and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. They don't stop for 1 second, for example, and they go do their own homework, because if they did, they would find out not maybe, 90% or 85%, no, 100 trillion %. Registered where? In Puerto Rico. And it says right on the tax form that it's voluntary. Well, some of us volunteer not to pay. Simple. Es voluntario, ¿cierto? Okay. Yo soy voluntario, pero no quiero pagar.
Pero no quieres pagar. Yes, true. It's true. There's a lot of people there that they don't get it. Could you provide us with a more detailed explanations of what people refer to as the NESARA GESARA law? The reason I ask you is I personally wasn't aware of this law until last year, when I began interviewing individuals involved in humanitarian projects. They expressed their anticipation for this law, claiming it will not only benefit a single country, but the entire world. I remember inviting a woman from a beautiful small town. Pasto is the city in Colombia, where hundreds of people share one bathroom. Diana Troya was working in Pasto to provide them with another bathroom and improve their human rights. So my question is this law a reality? Is for real? Is it fake? Is something fake? Or is some claim a tardanza?
Porque nosotros pagamos a ellos how do you say quadrillions in Spanish? Quadrillions of dollars. For all of you Spanish, speaking people, teach us how to say the word quadrillion in Spanish, because I don't know that word. I was too busy being in love with my Spanish teacher, so she probably didn't know the word either. Quadrillion. Okay, quadrillions of dollars. We gave these people quadrillions of dollars, right? And now we feel that we are inconvenienced, that we want the monster to go away. It's not. Look, the monster is going to go away. Are we going to have an election? I hope not. I hope not, because if we do, Niky, we're going to go the way of a banana republic. You understand? And if we go the way of a banana republic, meaning that we know exactly what kind of car they were driving, what year the car was, how many assailants were in the car, what kind of weapons they had, what color the car is. We know what house they landed in. We know where they're hiding. We know everything about the crime scene, but we're going to allow them to get away with the crime. I have a little bit of a hard time swallowing that pill in the United States of America. So now they're over a bunch of stuff that is all frivolous. Lo están denunciando para qué? Son todo mentiras, ¿no?
Y entonces, ¿qué pasa con NESARA? What happened with
NESARA es un sistema nuevo. Y nosotros necesitamos un sistema nuevo porque el sistema viejo está con un dinosaurio. Están extinct, okay? Dinosaur. It's a dinosaur system. It's no longer needed. Think about it, Niky. Think about this. And I say the same things over and over again because I've developed my own storyline, and my storyline makes perfect sense. Taxation without representation. There's so many of them. I can go through a list of them. It's not just income tax and property tax and capital gains tax. How about you're driving a little bit too fast? The cop gives you a speeding ticket. That's a tax. You don't think for one second that they have flying machines where we could be flying anywhere we want, where there's no speed limit up there. Okay? I could go to Colombia in 3 minutes and have an empanada. Okay? And by the time you jump in an airplane and drive an hour or 2 hours to the airport, and you got to get there 3 hours earlier, and then you got to take off your belt and your shoes. Okay. By the time you do that, I can go into my garage, get into my flying machine, go to Colombia, have 5 empanadas, fly back, and you're still driving to the airport. They have the technology. Why are they holding it from us? Because they got to contain us. They got to control us being here. In other words, our movement. They got to control our money, and they got to control our health. They want complete, total control, and it has to stop. So you could want to sit in the slave system. I want out. I'm getting out. You want to stay there? I'm getting out. There's a lot of us. We are the majority. Let me just remind you. There's it's getting to the point where it's going to be 75, 80%. And that's when I think we're going to go with NESARA GESARA. We have to get to a majority rules. No one is going to get rich under. Mira. Nosotros llegamos, todos llegamos billonarios bajo del administration. Give me a break. Give me a break. That's never going to happen. These people, they don't want you to be rich. They don't want you to be healthy. They don't want you to be able to travel freely, because if they did, they've had the technology before I was born, before you were born. They've been hiding it from us. Now we on this guy. This is the guy you're going to vote for if we have an election. I will start a headquarters in Cape Canaveral, and we will push, even if we allow these guys who got away with the bank. The bottom line has to come back in order for us to be able to start to. But he doesn't just want to give you a flying car. He wants to give you a lot more than just flying cars, okay? And I'm gonna try to break the breadcrumbs down for you if I could. I'm gonna be all over the place, and then I sort of tell the story like Pulp Fiction, and then you have to take the pieces of the movie and sort of piece it to make sense, okay? Doesn't just want to give you a flying car. He wants to give you life extension technology so that we can live healthy lives, because we could live to be 1,000, 2,000 years old. You see, we're stuck in a system that they've created, and there are a bunch of morons, and I call them out. When I say morons, I basically am pointing the finger at the doctor who went along with the medical science system that doesn't work, keeps everybody in a zombie-like state. You don't know what planet you're on. It doesn't fix anything, right? It's not like they're living to be 300 years old, are they? Living to be 300 years old? No. They're dying off just as much as we are, just as fast as we are. And they're doing it all for what? Because they want to drive an extension of a Model T Ford called a Mercedes-Benz, which has 4 rubber tires, and they're confined to planet Earth, this rock, like everybody else, all for what? For this. Right? We can have this, we can have wealth, we can have health, we can have longevity, we can have it all. It's been caught saying we got to get in the race for the flying cars. I got it on videotape. I have it on videotape. I wish I would have had more time. I would have dug these all up. I would have showed your audience. We have it on video. If you join our Telegram group, we constantly repost these because there's constantly new people joining us.
Mel Carmine, con ese estilo, you know, I love the way he talks. And con ese Italian and American, you know, both sides, it made you like stay there forever. So quantum financial system, este sistema cuántico financiero va a hacer que el dinero papel, el dinero fiat,
se va.
Money, ¿qué pasa? Cuéntanos.
Se va a terminar. Es un sistema antiguo. No, it's not backed by gold. It's not backed by any assets. It's not backed by silver. It's not backed by real estate. It's not backed by oil. It's not backed. It's paper backed up by paper and based on the belief you and I and everybody has that it's worth something. And we've had nothing but inflation, hype, and if we don't get back fast, we're going to experience hyperinflation. You're going to go to the store and you'll be paying $29 for a box of eggs, I promise you. And you're going to be paying $18 for a gallon of gas, I promise you. So now they're showing you these flying cars with propellers. Give me a break. The Chinese. And I'm saying to myself, that looks like a drone, right? A larger drone with, you know, the drones with the cameras that the podcasters are using to do whatever when they're on vacation, whatever, right? Taking aerial shots. Some of these guys are amazing with the camera work that they do, but that's what it is. And meanwhile, they have the technology that's anti-gravitic, but they think that they've won. So they show you the propeller flying machine that can only go 25, 30 minutes. And then you got to land somewhere and charge it up. Give me a break. Give me a break. You think we are that stupid? Seriously? ¿De verdad? No somos tan estúpidos como vosotros pensáis.
Should we really be preparing ourselves, or are we living in a science fiction horror movie? When will public arrest of all the corrupt individuals take place? It is true the bank collapses. They're talking about blackout and lockdown are about to happen. What we should do?
They have to collapse this system. They have to put the fear of God in everybody. There was attack on, what do you call it? Iran from Israel, I believe just yesterday, correct? So they have to make everybody panicked. And, you know, I know how they're going to play the game, so I don't really panic anymore. I just relax, you know. So that's why we're having the Quantum Summit in Cape Canaveral. We have it for June 8th and June 9th. We're having it. We're having some of the most amazing speakers you can imagine. You realize we got Lara Logan, who used to be for a 60-minute war correspondent. We have Sherry Peel Jackson, who is the lady who used to knock down your door and you were facing a barrel of a .45 caliber if you didn't pay your illegal income taxes. We got SG Anon. We got Molly Elmore coming. We got 107 coming. Okay, he's committed to flying from Hawaii to the event. Now, I think he knows something that is going to happen between now and then of major significance, because this guy will not get on a plane and come from Hawaii all the way to Florida to be at my event. I'm sorry. Okay. We have people that are going to teach you how to grow food instead of lawns. We have people that are going to teach you about, nutrition. We're going to have people that will teach you about detoxing so that the body can absorb the nutrition. If you're eating organic, but your body's clogged, you're wasting time, right? We have all these people that have all the answers. And look, the cabal, you go to the stores, everything you touch, everything you eat, cockroach, and nobody's making any waves. Nobody asks questions. So constantly pulling you over. And now we got all these people, all these constitutional people that know how to. I didn't break any laws. What is the crime? No. And there's silence. And then get me your supervisor. I love these guys that are doing this. We need to learn from these guys. Does that make sense, Niky? Exacto, exactamente.
Empoderarse. So cuando todo esto pase, what we expect for those 3-4 months that coming? Are we gonna be prepared for something bad? And that's
Mira, yo he comprado como 3 meses de comidas. En caso que no la voy a necesitar, la voy a donar a gente que la necesita cuando esta guerra termina, ¿entiendes? Pero estoy preparado como toda la otra gente. Tengo mis cosas, tú sabes. I'm ready. Let's hope that we don't need it. We have people that are experts on NESARA and GESARA. We are negotiating with a person that we're not allowed to mention, who is, I'll give you a hint. And some of you guys, by me giving you this hint, you'll know exactly who he is. But he's the original guy who went to the Federal Reserve and said, you guys are going to need to buy the XRP because you are stuck ass, as we say in New York. Okay? You have no choice. You're going to have to move all the money on Earth, and the only one that moves money on Earth and can be scalable to 3.5 trillion transactions per second is XRP. And he's got a reevaluation, an evaluation of a buyback of one XRP for $123,000, where they would pay us $123,000 for each XRP. We're negotiating with that guy to be coming down. We got my good friend Rob Cunningham from the Cool Show, KUHL show. He's on Twitter. Okay, he is he's like a Bible holy grail of NESARA and GESARA. He knows NESARA GESARA better than anybody. Okay, just as much as the guy that went to the Federal Reserve to suggest a buyback. We have Sheila Holmes coming down. We got E. Smitty. He's a big He's a big music producer. He's on Twitter. He's got 400,000 followers. He's coming down. He's building a platform, and I like that because it's going to be on a blockchain. And once the parameters are set, you cannot go back and finagle the bagel. And we're going to get paid for every single video. And I'm going to recruit all the podcasters. And if they give me a platform that's intuitive, that can compete toe to toe, I will become their biggest, promoter of the whole thing. And I will recruit all the podcasters to come out of YouTube and say, we got a new platform. It sits on the blockchain. You're not going to get cheated. You're going to get paid. And he's a big XRP guy. I would not doubt if he pays us an XRP.